Hello everyone, what's up? Good morning and welcome to Holywell Bay in Cornwall. Spectacular, and more importantly, welcome to Spawn episode 1. My name's Ross McDonald and I'm a wildlife cameraman, and this spring and summer I'm going to be producing Spawn. Now, don't get carried away, this might be the West Country, but I'm not going to be producing Spawn myself. It's a wildlife documentary series, primarily about spawning frogs. I might throw a little bit of extra wildlife in there as well. We'll see how it goes. I'm just on my way to Penhale at the moment. It's a site of really incredible natural beauty. It's a nature reserve. I've got to walk around it to get there because no one's allowed through it because the foot traffic would destroy the sand dunes. It's a really fragile environment, so it's a bit of a mission to get to. Very cold, it's February and there's a bit of a hike. I put my wellies on the dashboard heater on the way here. Getting in those was delicious. I've got a bit of a hike ahead of me and I'll see you when we get there. Oh my god. Okay, we have made it. Long walk, might have to figure out an easier way with all my gear, but this is Penhale Corner, and it's one of my favourite locations in all of Cornwall. Okay, backpack's down, that's better. Welcome to Penhale Corner, epic. Take a look at that. Sick. If you're going surfing today, get out there, my beauties. Bloody lovely. But that is not what we're here for, because this is Spawn episode 1, introducing the pond. This is why Penhale is so awesome, to me at least. This place is sick. Discovered it last summer, and it was absolutely packed with tadpoles, and that's what this series is going to be about, capturing the incredible life and the transformation from little wee lumps of frog spawn into tiny froglets. And if I just start here, you can see at this end of the pond it's really shallow and it's a sun trap. It gets the sun all year round at this end, so it's really warm, relatively speaking, if you are an amphibian, that is. And as I come around this side, this whole section still pretty shallow, and then it just gets deeper and deeper as you come towards the back here. You can see much deeper water, really blue, it's so clean. The weeds coming up from the bottom, it's almost like a miniature kelp forest. Quite hard to see through the camera, I'd imagine, slightly ripply surface. Really well camouflaged at the bottom, just down here you can see two toads, or I can see them. They're in amplexus, which in layman's terms means they're doing it. Oh, bounce chicka wow. So this end here, it's a cave, so it leads right back into the cliffs. Obviously much colder in there, it doesn't get any direct sunlight. So this place has got a full spectrum of temperatures, from really shallow, warm water to deep, cold water, light to dark. And that makes it just perfect for so many species. And it's all self-contained in this one piece of rock in the cliff. And over on this side, you can see out really deep water, epic archway there. And from the back, who knows what's back there. Got water running from, I think, an old mine shaft. So it's got consistent water flow coming down through the dunes into the pond, and then it'll overflow into the sea. I think it's awesome. Radical. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my camera onto some other gear, get a few shots, and then I'm going to come back maybe tomorrow or in a couple of days, and we'll explore the pond, in a bit more detail, in depth you might say, because we're going to go underwater, see how it is under there, take a proper recce, put a torch on, go right to the back of the cave, see if we can see some life under there. Yeah, can't wait. Okay, so I stuck around to get a few shots of wildlife and plants around the pond. Plenty of reeds and mosses. You can see here there's a small leaf of pennywort in amongst the moss, and the pennywort was growing all the way up the cave walls. And there was also a few hart's tongue ferns in the shaded corners of the cave. And around the outskirts of the pond in the sunlight, there was these awesome tree mallows, which have a kind of prehistoric barky stem with these big leaves. For a while this little meadow pipit came and joined me. He was doing a little bit of foraging around the edge of the pond on the waterline, and then he flew back off towards the grassy sand dunes. I couldn't see the toads anymore, but there were a few newts kicking around, so I tried to get a few shots of those, but unfortunately the wind picked up a little bit and that glassy surface had turned very ripply. As you can see, trying to get good footage of the newts became impossible, so I called it a day there, and in part 2 we'll avoid that ripply surface by going underneath it. See you there.